What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, The Tarot Corner. My name is Jana, and today we're going to be talking about your spiritual gifts. Now, I am a firm believer that everyone has spiritual gifts. So we all have access to the same information because we're all made of the same stuff. But I do believe that we're all on kind of different stages of that development. So if you feel like you do have a spiritual gift, let's get down to it. We've got group number 1, which is the smoky quartz pyramid. We have the group number 2, which is clear quartz, and group number 3, the labradorite. So if you need more time, please pause the video, but we're going to start with group number 1. Okay, so for our first card, we have Adrift. I just want to jump into it. Wow, Jana. Card number 2, the arts. Card number 3, Archangel Gabriel's dragon. Wow, Jana. The 1 of pipes, or the ace of pipes. We have stickball. The 5 of pipes. And we also have number 12, Sundance. And for our animal cards, we have the tiger, we have the horse, and we have the hedgehog. This is all real grounded energy, group number 1. So for group number 1, I feel like you're the people that have that wonderful ability of just knowing in your gut what's up. Like, you just have a feeling of what's going to happen. And that's something that has maybe comes very easy to you. And I feel like this is something that is just something that you kind of already know, and you're like, yeah, I know that everyone has that gut feeling. Yes, that is absolutely true. But Spirit wants you to know that there's just some other things they really want you to focus on. Things that are popping out to me is the word self-discipline with this Archangel Gabriel's dragon. And with this Adrift, letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. And with the arts, I really get the feeling that they want you to learn to slow down and listen. Because knowing when to, being able to strike is one thing. And you may have part of the information, but I feel like there's something that you may be a little bit louder than the information that's coming into you. And with the information that's coming into you may be very sensory. And the imagery that I'm getting is when a tiger is waiting, and it's waiting for the right moment to pounce, or it's moving very slowly and waiting to pounce, waiting for its prey to get into the right spot. Or with a horse sense is the thing that comes to mind. Or when there's just a lot of imagery popping into my head. There was a movie that I saw, I forget what it was, but it was about surfing. And it's, they're instructing the surfer that wait and feel the energy that's coming, from the water. Wait, and you'll feel that coming. You'll feel that wave coming. And they did, and they kind of slowed everything down, and they listened to their senses, because your body picks up a lot more and a lot quicker than what your mind is going to make sense of. Scientifically, our mind does lag a little bit when it's receiving information, because it's trying to put things into terms that we already understand. So in that aspect, it might be distorting a lot of the information that we're getting. That might throw you off just a little bit, but you do have this very strong innate ability. And that's why they want you to learn how to slow down and to listen to the information that's coming into you. Allow yourself to really be in your body, be very grounded, to receive all those other little things that they want to tell you before you make a decision, or before you strike or take a risk. Because I feel like you are those type of people that you can charge forward. You do listen to your gut, and you're good at it, but I feel like they just want you to be better. They want you to be more well-rounded, where you've got the power to go forward, that's for sure. You've got that masculine energy. They want you to incorporate that yin energy, that feminine energy, where the masculine is the drive, right? So the yin is the direction. They want you to incorporate a little bit more of that because they have a little bit more to tell you. And another example of that is, of course, the arts. You know, we could be good at something. You have a lot of people that are just, it seems like they're good at singing, you know. But really, when they're younger, they may be, you know, mimicking certain sounds and developing the muscles to be able to manipulate those sounds and to manipulate the breath and, you know, to create a different way of singing, and that works for them. So, and that's another thing, I do believe everyone has the ability to sing. People think that they can't, and it's like, no, that's not true. It's just learning, and it's just building up those muscles. It's learning how to manipulate the sound. And because, you know, whether you're good or not is completely subjective. I think I'm going off on a tangent, but that's a big part of my life. Everyone can sing, and it just like everyone has this ability. But with music, or like anything else, it's taking the time and learning all the little things, learning all the little techniques to just make you better. Because you can read notes off the paper and you can play them, but it's different from a person who's looking at the notes, but also feeling the music, feeling the different tones that are coming in, or the different lines, the different I don't know, bass lines, melodies, whatever. Can't even remember the terminologies. I'm so mad at myself. But just feeling it and then also playing with it. It's a completely different experience. It's more enriching. And it's more of an experience in the way that you're not only hearing it, but you're feeling it, and you're just incorporating a lot of different parts of yourself that'll trigger certain things like memories. And that's another thing, when you're able to slow down, it may not only enhance this gift, but it can also enhance others. So I'm really drawn to read this card, which is the Ace of Pipes. And I love this deck because it has a completely different energy than any of the other tarot decks that I have. Okay, so the Ace of Pipes embodies strength and introspection. It signifies the strength of completion and fulfillment, a time when life's direction has been found. The need for introspection precedes the necessity to put one's best foot forward. So this is really telling you to go inward. That stickball, it demonstrates gains through concentrated effort. Practice improves performance and makes it perfect. So that's really what they want you to do. They really want you to perfect this. And it's ultimately going to take you farther than you ever thought before. Because with this Sundance, this is also almost not a ceremonial death, but it's kind of like it's an ending and another step. You're moving forward, and they really want this for you. And another thing that's popping into my head, and it's funny, I've been putting off this reading, and I really didn't know why, because I've really been wanting to do it, and it only makes sense now. Because yesterday I had this mighty need to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I was watching the second book. And it was when Aang was, and if you haven't checked out Avatar: The Last Airbender, I highly recommend it. I don't recommend watching the movie. Watch the actual show. But it's a point where he's looking for his earthbending teacher. And Guru tells him that your teacher is going to be one that waits and listens. And he goes all over, and he's trying to find the best, earthbender that he can find. And who he finds is a blind 12-year-old girl. And she is the world's best earthbender. And it's because she has a way of bending and seeing the world through waiting and listening and feeling the vibrations around her. And yeah, she goes on to be like the great, it's one of the most impressive characters of the show. But that's kind of perfect with what we're talking about here. They want you to learn to wait and to learn to listen and allow spirit to take you where you need to be just for a little while. And there's a little bit of a line there, because we can get caught up with that flow. It's just like, oh, I'm supposed to flow, but it's knowing when to swim again, I guess, or learning, or know. And that's another part of it, knowing when to flow and then knowing when to move. It's a very push and pull, and that's what they really want you to learn. They want you to learn that balance to make you stronger. Okay, so I think that's all that I have for you. Group number 1, this is very cool. You're in a really good place, and I think with this hedgehog, because it's calm, cool, collected, unique, intelligent, intuitive, psychic, they really want you to tap into the more of the yin energy, to allow that information to come in and work with that power that you already have. That's very cool, group number 1. So that's where I'm going to leave it with you. If this resonated with you, please leave a like down below. If you want to talk about it, that'd be hella cool. I'd love that in the comments. If you are subscribed, please hit the little bell notification so YouTube tells you when I put up a video. If this is where I leave you, love and light. Namaste, Vaya, Dios. I hope to see you again next time. We're moving on to group number 2. Okay, so group number 2, we've got telepathy. Ooh, cool. We've got Celtic, or Celtic, however you want to say that. We have the golden crested dragon. I did look that up a while ago on how to actually say that. I mean, honestly, you can go either way. You can go with crested or Christed. I'm going to go with Christed, so it's golden crested dragon. And for our tarot cards, we have the Lovers. We have the One of Blades. And we have the Four of Shields, which is silence. And for our animal cards, we have the Frog. We have the Ant. And we have the Crow. Okay. So for you, group number 2, I feel like y'all have been around the block for a while. Like, you've been doing this for a while. You've been going through cycles a while. Because you have this way of tapping into the collective. And I'm really feeling that with this ant and with this golden crested dragon, because the crested energy is something that it's tapping into that light energy, but it's also very collective. It's a very unified energy. It's like stepping into a super highway that goes off in just a million different directions type of thing, is what I feel. And with this Celtic card, I feel like you, whether or not you have ties to anywhere, like the British Isles or Ireland or what have you, you might take one of those DNA tests. You never know. I got a little bit, but it's just a little bit. But what I get from that is very old, because what I think of is like Druid magic, and Druid magic is very rooted in the earth, and it's something that I think, or I feel, is always was. So I feel like you have this tie to a very eternal energy, like a very, like, roots. That is what it comes to mind. Roots. You're rooted in this energy. It's such a strong part of you. where it's not like you have one particular ability. It's like you walk through a door and you have all these different directions you can go in, and that can sometimes be overwhelming. So you may have little bits of you that come out here and there. You could be very empathic. You can connect with animals very well. You can probably walk into a home, or walk just to a general area and just feel everything. You can just get a gist of what is going on, how people are feeling right off the bat. It's just something that's very innate to you, and why that's something that's sticking out is with this ant energy. Ants are a collective. They work together. They're able to tap into the information of other ants. It's very cooperative, and it's something that you can easily access with meditation, and that's why we have this Four of Shields here. And if you're not a person that does a lot of meditation, it's just holding something in your mind, and sometimes you can just completely clear out and not think about anything at all. You can set an intention about, this is what I want to learn, but Spirit's always going to work on its own terms. It's never going to give you information when you want it. It's when you're really ready for it. Spirit will never put you in a situation where they feel that you can't gain from it in some way. So if you feel like you're not getting all the answers right now, to just be calm and to wait, because there may be a few steps that are in between you and getting to where you really want to be. And with this telepathy, that may actually be something that happens once in a while, or it's something that's very strong with you. Nonverbal communication. You may have a great ability to communicate with other animals, and just you have a really great relationship with your pet or whatever animal that you meet. Or you could even pick up on, energies that are just around you. You may hear things, certain phrases, and things like that. Like with that once, and it really caught me off guard. There was a time where I was somewhere and I heard my sister say, "Grab me a soda." And then when I did, she's like, because I was over where the sodas were, when I grabbed her a soda and threw her to her, she's like, "I didn't ask you for this. I thought about it, but I didn't ask you." And I was like, "Are you serious?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You didn't say anything? I clearly heard you yell." And she's like, "No, I didn't say anything." So it could be like things like that. And it might be something that you just write off, but it's something that you can definitely develop, and is really cool. I don't know if you want to read people's thoughts, but if that's where you want to go, more power to you. People's minds are scary. I don't know if you want to overhear any of that. So, and another thing with this group number 2, this is such a cool, complex group. And again, yeah, I feel like you've been through so many cycles that it's just like these lessons have just built up. So it's just something that comes to you, and you can always strengthen them, but it's easy for you. I shouldn't say easy, but it's something that's, I guess it's kind of easy, because I can't think of any other way to explain it other than you can focus on it and really gain that energy to strengthen your abilities, and to be able to communicate with the energy around you. I do believe that you may be a person that has seen a lot, that has seen a lot of darkness, but you're able to transmute that energy and to be a light for people, because we have this cleansing negative energy with this frog, this emotional release. Like, you've seen a lot, and that's why you might be a very powerful empath. You might be someone that really needs to step back from people and to kind of recharge, so you're able to be that light to people. And I'm sorry about my light, it's on the fritz. I apologize, and I don't know if I can change it, and I'll change it maybe a little bit later. Stop being weird. the connection to the moon energy, the yin energy. So there may be a lot of information that wants to come to you, and that's really going to this silence is really going to benefit you. Meditating, being still with this, and that's something that's only strengthened with this Lover's card, because this card, I love it because it means there's a reaction to every action. It's about harmony. I don't read it a lot of times as actual lovers. This is about connecting and being harmonious within yourself and with others, and cause and effect. So this is about balance. And with the Ace of Blades, stop flickering, please. It's not going to stop flickering. All right. So the Ace of Blades, the essence is the human need for growth and trust in the struggle for individuality. Wisdom cannot be acquired passively. One must have faith and understanding in the nature of the environment, one's fellows, and oneself. Wow, this is really cool. This is really cool, group number 2. Really very cool. You also might be a person that's very lucky for people, like being around you because of all this light energy that you have around you. A lot of people may benefit from it. You may attract a lot of people that they may be going through a hard time or have difficulties, and your energy offers a lot of healing, and so it can be overwhelming. So it's very important to stop and to have balance with yourself, but also to learn boundaries, to create boundaries for yourself and maybe for the people around you, so you can strengthen your abilities to the point where you can strengthen them, and then you can also be comfortable and you're not worried about them overwhelming you because of those who you have around you. So creating boundaries is really going to help out with that, and knowing your limits and knowing when you need to step away and replenish yourself. You have a way of seeing past masks. Memory, you might be a person that remembers your past lives. You have very rooted energy. You have very strong in the collective energy, in that Christed energy. Very cool, group number 2. Very cool. So you're going to develop this by meditating, taking some time for yourself, going out in nature. That's going to help you connect a lot. If you can, since it's getting nicer out. I mean, it's nice here. I live in Northern California, but in other places, like on East Coast, it's getting real nice right now. So if you can, step outside, stand in the grass barefoot, allow those energies to flow to you. Trees are really gonna help you. Tree energy. Trees have a lot of magic and love. So that's very cool, group number 2. This is all I have for you. If this resonated with you, please leave a like down below. If you want to talk about it, that'd be cool. If you want to share some stories, maybe about some experiences that you've had, that would be awesome. I'd love to hear from you guys. If this is where I leave you, love and light, namaste, vaya con Dios. If you are subscribed, please hit the little notification bell so YouTube tells you when I upload videos. But thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm moving on to group number 3. Group number 3, Labradorite. Let's go. Guide. Knighthood. Kuan Yin's Pink Dragon. I love Kuan Yin. I resonate heavily with Kuan Yin. The Shaman. The Warrior of Blades. Defiance. And our spirit animals, we have the bear. We have the deer. We have the dragonfly. Okay. It's pretty clear. Group number 3, you guys are healers. And you have a very nurturing energy, a very guiding energy, something that's solidified. Actually, like all of this is really telling me that you are someone that comes across as a guide, a mentor, an ally. You have this strength, you have the spiritual strength of this bear. And, we all know that. Look at the term mama bear. I mean, that explains it. No need to go kind of further into that. But you have this healing ability, and you have this tremendous capacity to love and to understand and to guide. And with this Kuan Yin brings a firm love that resets your karmic balance. You do that for people. You're very sensitive. You could be a very powerful empath. But I do say, group number 3, you got to be careful with that. You got to take some time for yourself, and you got to make sure that your cup is full before you can give to another person, okay? Or you can just burn out, and that's a terrible feeling. You don't want to do that. You have a way of transmuting negative energy. You have a way of sparking love in another person. Love not for another thing, but for themselves. When you are a peace, when people come to you. And with this night, I feel like you are a safe space. You have this very strong, I'm getting imagery of like a temple. Like a temple comes to mind where people can go and they can just know that they're safe, know that they are loved, know that they don't have to worry. You offer that to people, and that can be a lot if you don't take steps to really take care of yourself and learn boundaries, and enforce those boundaries with people who may want to take a little bit more than they give. And sometimes it's necessary to give, because a lot of people, we're not taught these things. They don't teach us to love unconditionally ourselves. And that's so important for our spiritual development. Group number 3, with the shaman card, I do feel like you're someone who you have walked in darkness. Like you know pain. You've been through it. And you've come out the other side of it, and that has made you incredibly strong. You are this person that can guide others, where you can find them in their darkest places and you can bring them back. And being a powerful empath, you just have a way of connecting with people. It doesn't matter what kind of situation it is, but you're able to give them a sense of that they are loved no matter what, and understood no matter what. You are that nurturing figure for people. That is incredible. The world needs more people like you. But I think, I want to read these 2 cards, because with this deck, it kind of trips me up just a little bit. It's beautiful, and I love its energy because it's completely different from other tarot decks. And that's the beauty of different decks, is that they all have different types of energy, and you're gonna get different messages from, the same. If it's the same card in another deck, you may just get a different message. It's fun. Little tidbit for you. Defiance is in the knowledge of human nature and perseverance, qualities which lead to success against great odds. Human nature. That can be a little tricky, right? We're dualistic beings, so it's a balance. Everything is a balance. Knowing when to move, knowing when to give, knowing when to allow yourself to receive. It's being able to say no when you have to. Now, you can be all these things for a lot of people, but if you want to heighten your intuition, heighten your sensibility, like your sensitive gifts, that's something that you you need to give to yourself as well. Because you have a very strong connection to spirit. You're very in tune with your inner self. But you can't let your mind and your need to keep giving, to get in the way of giving to yourself. The Warrior of Blades is working with this defiance. The Warrior of Blades is active, skillful, subtle, and clever. Fierce, delicate, courageous, but altogether the victim of his ideas. He is inspired without the benefit of reflection. So the idea of pushing forward on something, like, you may really want to help and be an ally and to be that knight in shining armor for another person. But if you don't stop and take stock in your reserves and in what you need, it's not going to help you, and it's not going to help that other person, because you're going to be kind of depleted, and it's it might make you into this really, really irritable bear. Because bears need hibernation. They need to hibernate, and they need that time so that they can, come out and, live their life, whatever. I don't really know a lot about bears, but I do know that they need that time. They need that solitude, important of solitude, to fuel that warrior spirit, excuse me. So Spirit really wants you to understand that you need to understand your own balance, to create boundaries, that your intentions to do and to be that knight in shining armor for those, and to push forward against all odds. Yeah, that intention is great, but if you're worn out, you're not going to help anybody. A tired warrior is only going to get himself hurt in battle. You need to be fully charged to be that wonderful guiding light. And you can always offer this love, and you can always offer that rock energy to people. But you also need to have balance within yourself, to make sure that strength is still there. On the Deer card, it says living from the heart. Yes, that's a beautiful quality that you have, group number 3. I really feel that. Magical ability to renew. Yes, it's very important. Take time out to ground yourself. A balance. I feel like balance is just a huge theme of today. Like, everyone just needs to balance themselves. That is the key to literally everything, to be in balance with both the yin and yang within us all. That's when the answers really, really come forward, is when we can stop and incorporate all of ourselves rather than focusing only on one thing. Especially when our society says, we can't stop. You have people that are fighting to go back to work. And I understand it's very difficult for people. I'm not going to get into that. You have a lot of people that are really struggling right now. And even though this is a timeless reading, we're not always going to be in the situation of self-distancing and quarantine. But a lot of us, being still is not doing nothing. We can still learn in being still. There's a lot that Spirit wants us to know, and a lot of us have it like blinders, our hands over our ears, and we don't want to hear it. And that's a struggle for everybody. But sometimes pushing forward is not the best thing. There can be a backlash. If you're injured and keep going, you're only going to make it worse, type of thing. And energetically, I feel like that's where we are now. We need to stop and be still, so we can so we can be stronger tomorrow. Because you have this tremendous healing ability. It's very important. And you have the knowledge that you've cultivated over time through lessons to be a light to others. So healer, empath, those are very strong spiritual gifts that you have. Group number 3. It's beautiful gifts that you have. Okay, so that's all I have for you, group number 3. That's beautiful. Make sure to hold on to this Kuan Yin pink dragon energy. And if you ever feel a little run down, you can kind of call on that energy, that Kuan Yin energy. And if you feel like that's not something you resonate with, it's very in the realm of kind of like that Mother Mary energy. So any entity or deity that you feel has that complete unconditional love energy, just call on that, because it's the energy that matters. It's not the name. That's what's real, than the energy. All right, so that's all I got for you. I think I said that already. This is the last group. So love and light. Namaste. Vaya con Dios. If this was something that resonated with you, please leave a like down below. If you want to talk about this in the comments, that'd be awesome. Love to hear your stories. Thank you for hanging out. Hope to see you guys again next time. If you're subscribed, make sure you hit the little bell notification so that YouTube will tell you the next time that I post a video. But sending lots of love to you all. Stay safe, stay healthy. Hope to see you guys again next time. Bye.